Hello, Kelly. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good, thank you. Let me introduce you my follower. Kelly, she is Vice President of Fitness MOVATI Athletic and Durham College Fitness and Health Promotion Program Advisory Committee, Canadian Global Ambassador, the Women in Fitness Association. Her previous job was Good Life Fitness, National Director of Personal Training, fitness exclusive with over 20 years of leadership experience and strategic growth. Kelly is one of the most powerful women in fitness industry. Welcome to my show, Kelly.
You're too kind. You're too kind. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So honored to have you. You're a very important person and busy.
It's great to see you again.
Thank you. I want to thank you so much. Without you, I could not do what I do. You gave me the opportunity to start my career. I had so many gym interviews 2006 before I had an interview with you. So what was the reason you hired me?
It's funny because my memory isn't that great. If you ask my husband, he'll laugh and say you can't remember anything past like a week or two. But I remember the day I interviewed like it was yesterday. So I still remember us going through face-to-face interview, and I thought, you had so much energy and enthusiasm, and back in the day, back in 2006, we had two interviews, right? So one was face-to-face, and the next was a practical interview. So I said, you know what? I think I want to see him in action. I want to see him take me through a workout. And I still remember you showing up early, which is first bonus. You had a towel and a water bottle ready for me and that big smile. And I couldn't help but think, if you were training my mother, if you were training my grandmother or someone that I cared about, I would feel so confident that you would take care of them and that you would be able to take them through an amazing workout and put their goals first. So that's why I hired you, because you were early, you were on time, you had that wow factor, but you also showed that you cared.
Thank you so much. Before I had an interview with you, I had so many interviews, you name it. Many gyms, like a lot of different gyms. I even didn't have a no practical interview. First interview, like cut.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you
Well,
so
I
much.
guess they didn't see what I saw, so it was their loss, my gain, right? And you went on to
So
be an amazing trainer.
thank you so much. So you have a good eye.
Even back then, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, thank you so much. Can you introduce to my followers your fitness journey, please?
Sure. So I graduated from York University. I played on the basketball team there. I took my kinesiology and health sciences degree at York. In my last 2 years, I took a certificate program that was fitness assessment certificate program. And in that program, I had the opportunity to do fitness testing with the Toronto Maple Leafs, with Toronto firefighters. So we did testing to prepare them for their certification and all of the credentials that they needed. And then I also took on one of the York University professors as a client. And at that time, that is when I fell in love with fitness. So I had a sports background that I liked working with teams. I was a captain of the team, so I understood what it took to be a leader. But I didn't have a lot of fitness background. I had anatomy, physiology, I learned nutrition, I learned all of that through school, but I'd never actually put it into practice. So I got an opportunity to do that at York in my last year. From there, I went on to be a level 1 brand new personal trainer at Valley Total Fitness. So Bally's isn't around anymore in Canada, but I started as a brand new trainer. And back then you were not paid for anything unless you trained a client. So I remember doing like 10, 20, 30, 40 consultations before anybody wanted to be my client. And I remember thinking, like, am I going to have to trade in my passion for fitness and personal training for something that will actually pay my bills? I didn't want to. So I decided to take on some shifts at the smoothie bar at Bally's. And I was making shakes and smoothies and selling supplements so I'd get to know some of the members that were coming through. And then hopefully I would gain some clients that way. And then as we were going through this, I also tried to teach myself some sales because I had no sales background. So over time, it eventually clicked and I eventually started to come to me and I got really busy. But I thought I never want any personal trainers to struggle the way that I've struggled as a brand new trainer. So over time, I moved into fitness manager roles, PT manager roles. I came to Good Life Fitness and worked for them for over 11 years, had the opportunity to work, that's where we met, work with some amazing personal trainers, open clubs all over Canada. I traveled to the East Coast, the West Coast, opening probably close to 100 locations over the course of those 11 years. And just created systems and structure so that our personal trainers could become successful quickly and they could ramp their client base quickly. And then 5 years ago, I was contacted by MOVATI Athletic for a position as their vice president of personal training. So I left Good Life, came to MOVATI at the time. MOVATI only had, I think it was about 13 or 14 locations. So over the course of the last 5 years, we've opened another 4 to 5 locations. We're up to 18 locations now across Ontario. We're soon to open our next club in Edmonton next month, actually. And it's been an amazing ride. I've had I'm so honored to work with so many great people in the fitness industry. So yeah, that's the 20-year journey.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. I learned so much things from you. And then step by step, that's why, first year I joined Good Life. First year income was 55K. Back then, 2006. Average trainer, what, like 15K?
Mm-hmm.
And second year, 75. Third year, close to 100K.
Amazing.
Yeah, because
shows what's possible.
Everything is possible. Amazing. I love my career and then I love my job because I learned like very strong foundation from you at right beginning, from the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So what is your morning routine?
So I think it goes back to what you said, is that consistency and structure is so important. So my morning routine has actually been perfected over the course of the last 15 months during COVID because I'm not traveling as much. But what I found, in order to get my head right, be in the right mental headspace, go into the day with, clarity, confidence, your morning routine is incredibly important. So I'll have my coffee first thing in the morning. Typically within the first 30 minutes to an hour, I will get my workout in. So luckily we have a gym in our basement here at home. And then when the weather's nice, I can run outside. But I always start my day with a workout. And then following my workout, I'll typically do a meditation. So I've learned a lot about meditation over the past 2 years. I actually worked with a meditation coach, Angela Conchen. She's out of Burlington, an incredible woman that's taught me so much about meditation. And it's helped me, reduce my stress, sleep better, just have that mental clarity going into the day. And then I will start my day. Typically I'll fast till about maybe 10 a.m., 9 a.m. some days, and then I'll start my day. But that's typically, Monday through Sunday, that's how I kick off my day. I really try to leave social media, my phone, until after the workout's done. That's still a work in progress, but that is something that I can see the difference when I do that. You don't wake up and look at your phone right away. Give yourself some time.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your training style? How many times a week you train, and then how long you train, and then what's your split routine? I want to know what's your current routine.
Right. So my current routine, a long time ago, I heard Charles Poliquin talk, and he said, the number one reason why women don't get the results that they want is because they don't lift heavy enough weights. So I train about 4 times a week with weights. So I focus more on lower reps, heavier weight. So, it's major lifts first, like squat, deadlift, bench, pull-ups. I've been doing a little bit of Olympic lifting as well. So snatch and cleans, and then I'll add some accessories in there as well. And then typically finish with 5 or 10 minutes of core at the end. So that's about 4 days a week. And then 2 days a week, I find just for my mental health, I really like to run. It's not for everybody, but I'll do anywhere from a 4 to 6K run 2 times a week. So when the weather's nice, I just get my running shoes on and go for a run. That's my cardio 2 times a week.
How fast is it?
How fast? I can do, now you're putting me on the spot. I can do 5K in just under 30 minutes. So
Wow.
My best is 28 minutes, but still working on it. My husband is way faster than me, so I got to pick it up.
What's your average heart rate when you run? Do you
I
measure?
don't keep track of it. No, I probably should. Yeah, I'd say around 168, 160 on my Apple Watch. I think around that. So it's fairly high.
Yeah, that's really good. So what's the lower rep? How many reps you do?
How many reps when I do strength training?
Yeah.
So I'd say about 3 to 5.
Wow, 3 to 5 reps.
Yeah.
So what about rest?
Rest will be anywhere from 90 seconds to 2 to 3 minutes.
So what's your squat and bench and deadlift?
Oh, squat, I'd say I can definitely squat my weight. So about, just over 150. Deadlift about 140, 145. And then bench, I've gone up to about 110.
Wow, amazing. So you guys have a InBody, right?
At MOVATI, we use InBody, yes.
InBody, what's the version of InBody?
I think it's 270, so it's one of the lower versions.
Okay, that's pretty good too. So yeah, I have an InBody too. So do you measure body fat?
Yes.
Low, right?
My body fat. Yes, yeah. It's all right. Like it ranges anywhere from like around 15%, 16%.
Yeah. Amazing. Like, InBody said average women like 18 to 28, right? Yeah. So amazing. You must be like, like when you measure your blood work, A1C would be like perfect, right?
Yeah, it's a work in progress, but I really believe in your training age, right? Like it just compounds over the years. So I've been training now for, 20 plus years. I didn't always do it right initially. I might have done a lot more cardio, a lot higher repetitions, but now over the course of 20 years, you're able to build on all those years that you've trained. So for those clients that are just starting out, don't get, defeated. It's those years after years that you will see, it'll be easier for you to get results and get back into shape if you take time off because you've been training for a number of years.
That's right. Like amazing shape. You're so busy and then you keep like amazing shape, like walk to talk. Amazing. Yeah, great job. So if you can only do 10 minutes a day, 4 times a week you train, what kind of movement and would you do?
I think I'd go back to those 4 standard movements. So squat, deadlift, pull up, bench. Those would be the 4 movements I'd do. And then if I could add in running, I would, just to clear my head.
Okay, so 10 minutes. Can you like a little bit more specific? 10 minutes. How are you gonna train?
I would do push pull, push pull. Yeah, so I would do, you could probably get 10 minutes. You could probably get 1 to 2 sets in of each. So squat, deadlift, pull, and bench.
Nice. Yeah, that kind of exercise, that's what I would do too.
Yeah, Just work
Yeah.
your biggest muscle groups, get your biggest bang for your buck.
That's right. So I don't really do cardio. I like to like a circuit training.
Right.
Yeah, my resting very short. So what is your nutrition? So you do intermittent fasting?
Yeah, I've picked it up. I used to, as soon as I got up in the morning, I used to be so hungry. And I used to think that I needed to eat before I worked out every morning, or I wouldn't be able to have an effective workout. So it's interesting how you can train your body to get used to when you fuel it, right? So yes, I typically finish eating for the day around 6-ish, maybe 7 at the latest. And then I won't eat until like earliest 9 or 10.
Okay, so you don't need like 14, 15 hours,
Yeah.
right? So what's your breakfast? So how many meals do you eat?
Typically like 3 full meals and a snack. So I'd eat about 4 times a day.
Okay, so what's your like your breakfast, lunch, dinner kind of what's your meal look
Typical
like? Yeah,
go-to.
yeah.
Well, we live out in the country, so we don't have a lot of takeout out here. We don't order in very much. We really try to focus on, a lot of whole foods, vegetables, proteins, fruits, and grains. So in the morning, it's usually one of two things. I'll make myself a smoothie with vegan rice protein because I don't do well on whey. It could have a little bit of orange juice or water, lots of spinach and greens and berries. And then, or I'll do bacon and eggs. So it's typically one of those two things. And then for lunch, it'll be some type of protein and a salad, or if we have some leftovers from dinner a few nights before, it might be like rice, protein, and vegetables. And then typically we'll do that for dinner. It'll be, now that we're getting into nicer weather, it'll be a barbecue of, steak, chicken, or fish, some type of salad, or vegetables and grains, or sweet potatoes or something like that. So we stick to a lot of whole foods here at our house.
Do you kind of know your macros or you don't care?
No, I don't really follow my macros too much. I probably should do a better job at that. But I know my body, like I know what I react well to and what I don't react well to. I don't react well to like a lot of dairy, gluten, like flour, breads, anything like that. So I really, just because it doesn't make me feel great. So I try to minimize that anyways. And I think, it's tough to, unless you're training for something or needing to lose a significant amount of weight. I think if you can keep yourself at a 7 or 8 out of 10 all the time and be consistent with that, you'll be successful. You'll be able to either maintain your weight or keep yourself lean, rather than, going all the way to a 10. That's very difficult to maintain, especially at my age.
Yeah, 20s.
Yeah.
Biologically.
I
Yeah,
hope so.
yeah, look like. So what's your snack?
It could be a protein bar. It could be a smoothie if I haven't had one during the day. Sometimes I'll buy some, dried prunes or dried apricots and have a handful of them. Nuts, it could be cashews or almonds that we have. So something like that would be my snack.
How many steps you do your Apple Watch set?
I don't track it.
Oh, you don't use it?
No, I have my Apple Watch, but I typically just have it plugged in unless I'm going for a run or I'm leaving the house. So I don't really track it much during the day. I just try to stay as active as possible, especially during these COVID times, just getting up and outside of your workout, getting up and even just walking down the street, going to the park when I can. But probably not enough. I could probably do more steps.
I think you're doing perfect. That's why you have a perfect shape. You're welcome. So how about supplement?
So I have a women's multivitamin that I take, omegas, vitamin D. I also have a green supplement that I have, with water that I'll take. And then at night, I'll take magnesium and melatonin just to help me sleep and have a restful sleep.
You do melatonin every day or only like
A
a
couple
busy
times a
day?
week.
Mm.
Yeah, but magnesium every day.
L-threonate?
No,
No?
I'm
Okay.
not sure which one it is.
Okay. All right. So how much omega-3?
Typically two omega-3s a day, like 2 pills of omega-3s a day.
Oh, okay. All right. So how much did you gain weight your pregnancy? And then how many months to get back to your normal weight?
Yeah, I gained about, I think it was about 40 pounds, 35, 40 pounds. So it wasn't a lot. I stayed pretty in shape during the whole process. It was 8 years ago now, so it's hard to remember. It seems like it was so long ago, but I tried to stay in shape, went for lots of walks. I worked out right up until the end of it, until I couldn't anymore. And then I started working out again, probably within maybe 6 weeks after I had the baby and after I had my daughter. I think I came back really quickly and I started lifting too heavy of weight. So sometimes your head is further ahead than your body is, right? Because I felt fine, I felt in great shape. So I wanted to get back at it, but I think I should have gone a little slower because I jumped in too quickly and I ended up injuring my lower back. So if I could do it again, I would have probably taken a little bit slower and just started, more towards something like yoga, lighter weights, more repetitions. But I went too quickly to heavy weights because I felt well and I ended up hurting myself. So it took some time to really heal my back after that.
Like deadlift?
No, it was actually rotation.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you still did like squat, bench press, deadlift during pregnancy?
Yep.
How much weight?
Oh, I can't remember now. It's like 8 years ago, but I think, I was using definitely 25 a side, so maybe 95 pounds I was squatting.
Wow, that's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So you recommend like continue to do some exercise, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it definitely made the process a lot smoother and it helped me not put on as much weight. And then also it helped me lose the weight. And I had I was very lucky. I had a very smooth delivery. So I really believe that because I stayed in great shape during the whole process, it made the delivery a lot easier.
Yeah, I think so too. Like working out, strength training, I think very important, especially for women.
For sure.
Yeah. So what do you don't eat?
I try to cut down on sugar. I don't have a lot of sugar. Like I might have a craving of, I'll grab some dark chocolate and have a couple squares, maybe a few times a week, but I really try to stay away from the sugar. I try to stay away from like a lot of like flour, like breads and yeast and things like that, because I have trouble digesting it. But yeah, those are the things I typically stay away from.
How about drink?
What my favorite drink or what I drink?
Yeah, how about drink? Like okay, what's your drink protocol? Like how many times a week? How much? What do you drink?
I actually cut down how much I drink quite a bit during COVID because just the stress in the fitness industry kind of went very, very high with all of this. And with everything going on, I wanted to have good sleep and I wanted to be, on the top of my game and effective every single day. So I actually don't drink a lot. I'll have maybe a glass or two of wine once a week, if that. So yeah, I don't drink a lot, but I'll have a glass or two of wine.
Okay. How about like coffee or tea? How much you drink per week or
Uh,
day?
I'll drink a cup every morning, and then maybe once a week I'll have one before noon, like a second cup of coffee, like around 10 or 11. But I typically don't drink any coffee after 12 o'clock noon.
That's good. That's good. So how you monitor your health?
It's nothing fancy, to be honest. I did see a naturopath pre-COVID in Toronto. He's an amazing doctor, had my blood work done. I've also done vitamin IVs. So he was able to monitor if I'm deficient in certain areas, let's say vitamin D or different areas that I might be deficient in. So I did definitely take advantage of that. I'd like to get back on that once COVID clears up. And really it's how I sleep and how I feel throughout the day. So it's nothing fancy, but I can tell, you know, if my sleep is strong and I'm not waking up at that between 2 and 4 when your cortisol levels are spiking. Usually it's because I'm eating well and my stress levels are low. So I monitor my sleep, and I also monitor my energy levels during the day. So if I feel like I have energy until, you know, 5, 6 o'clock, it's because I'm exercising, meditating, fueling my body with the right things. So it's more about how I feel than any kind of metrics or tests that I do.
Do you take a nap?
No, I'm not really a napper. My brain is going too much for me to nap.
Oh yeah, I love taking a nap.
So does my husband. I think it might be a male thing. Males are better at taking naps than females.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, in your knowledge and experience, what is the most important thing for our quality and longevity of our life?
That's a loaded question. I think it is moving your body every day, finding some time to clear your mind, whether it be meditation, whether it be, you know, a walk through the forest, just time. There's so much throughout the day that we're in a reactive mode where we're looking at social media or looking at our emails or communicating with others. There has to be a time where we take a break from that and allow our mind to rejuvenate and rest. So finding that time along with moving your body and fueling your body with whole foods. So, you know, whether it be proteins, vegetables, fruit, things that are grown in the ground, I believe that's the key to having a healthy long-term life. So, you know, exercise and managing your stress, which isn't always easy.
Do you eat organ meat too?
Organic?
Organ meat, like liver and heart and kidney and stuff.
No.
Okay, so where do you get your meat and then grocery? Just curious.
Yeah, we have a butcher. So we have a butcher out where we live. So we go to him every single week. He brings his meat in from local farms. So we get our chicken, our beef, all of that through him. And then the grocery, we typically shop at Farm Boy out by us. I like their
Nice.
selection of vegetables and produce.
Nice. So I think I'm pretty healthy. I measure my full blood work. I actually pay about 300 extra fee, measure a lot of detail work.
That's good.
I want like optimum, okay? I go by like functional medicine standard, not a conventional medicine. So even check vitamin D, I check summer and winter time twice. So I think I'm gonna live like 90 to 128, nice and healthy. So what do you think about, you know, yourself if you go this path?
Yeah,
How much you
I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy to live a life over the age of 90. Absolutely. Both of my grandmothers have lived over the age of 90, so I'd be happy with that for sure. I have
Yeah.
to continue to work on my stress levels. I think that's what would hold me back. So I think that's why meditation has been so impactful to me.
Yeah, so you look very calm with a very high level executive, and I'm sure you have like so busy schedule. So what are the top 2 to 3 things to make yourself nice and calm and then manage your stress level?
I think first it's it goes back to your schedule. So knowing that you have a certain amount of time in your day, and instead of being reactive to everything that gets thrown at you, do your best to plan. So if you have a full week in front of you, you're scheduling time for yourself in the morning. So for me, if I wait till the end of the day to get a workout in or try to slot it in, if I have a free hour here or there, it's not going to happen. So for me, it's always starting the morning and giving that time for myself. So then it's out of the way first. And then I feel like I can bring my best self forward. After that, it's scheduling my day. So it might be, you know, you have clients or direct reports that you work with. So scheduling that in. It's also important to schedule time where it might be planning, it might be project development, or even just time for you to be creative. So it might mean even going for a walk or researching or educating yourself. So booking that time in to make sure it actually happens. Because unless it's scheduled in, for me, it probably won't happen. And then knowing when to close off your phone, close off your computer, and being present with your family. So I have, you know, an 8-year-old little girl. And for me, it's really important that when work is done, that I can do my best to, when she's playing sports, that I can be present at her sport game, or I can be present with her when work is done and not be on my phone. So I try to put the phone away, definitely by 6 o'clock, both because you can be more present with your family, but also not having that blue light on your face will help with your sleep as well.
Yeah. So how many phones do you have?
Phones?
Yeah.
Only one.
Oh, wow. How many hours a week do you work?
I don't track the hours. I don't know. It depends. There'll be some weeks where it's less and some weeks where it's more. If I'm traveling, it's definitely more. I'm going out to Edmonton for 2 weeks in a couple weeks to open our new club. So it'll be long days, but when I come back, it'll be a little bit quieter depending on what's going on with gyms in Ontario. So I don't really track the hours of how much I work, but for me, as long as I'm happy and doing what I love, the hours fly by.
So if you could only work 2 hours per day on your business, your job, what would you do? Only 2 hours.
That's another tough question. I think that I do my best work when I'm in the clubs. So if I had 2 hours, I would spend it in the club, because I think that's, if you're a leader in any industry, you need to know what's actually happening. Here in my office where I am right now, I can definitely plan and I can do some good work, but I don't know what's actually happening unless I'm in the club, talking to our personal trainers, talking to our managers, talking to our clients. So if I only had 2 hours, I would choose to actually be in the clubs and being present with our teams.
So if you can meet 20 years of yourself, what kind of advice you would give yourself?
I'd say I wouldn't want to do anything different, because I think it would change where I am today. I think all the struggles that I went through, even as a brand new personal trainer, as a new manager, changing companies, it creates your character, and the experiences and the obstacles that you overcome are what make who you are today, right? So I don't think I'd go back and change anything. I'd just say be true to yourself. Don't try to change who you are. Don't try to be something that you aren't, and you will come across much more authentic and care about the person that is in front of you. So be present and spend time building relationships. That's what I would say to someone 20 years younger.
Do you have a favorite failure of yours?
Do I have, sorry, say that again?
Do you have a favorite failure of yours? Like you made a mistake and then that set you up for later success?
Yeah, I would say how long, honestly, it's how long it took me to be successful as a personal trainer. So I think that first year and how much I struggled and how hard it was to pay my bills, pay my rent. I lived on my own without family in Toronto, probably like you. And it was very difficult. I had trouble paying my rent. I had trouble paying my car payments. But I'd say because I didn't give up and I kept working at it and I found out ways to be successful, that is something that taught me, no matter how hard things are, you will find a way to get through it.
How long does it take time to your schedule to get really full? Your first year?
It was a good 3 to 6 months. I'd say 3 months for sure to start picking up some clients. And then I'd say by my first year, I was busy.
That was really quick, right?
Mm-hmm. I guess back then.
Yeah. So what is one of the most worthwhile investment you ever made?
It's a tough one.
Yeah, could be like money or time or energy or anything.
I think the time investment in getting into our clubs. So just spending time going back, and whether it be teaching PT boot camps, whether it be meeting with our managers, I'd say that definitely is the best investment that I've made. And I also really try not to say no to a lot of things. So if, a college or university calls me up and says, hey, we'd love you to be on our board of our advisory board to give us suggestions on what we should do for our fitness curriculum, I'll say yes. The Women in Fitness Association asked me to be a Canadian ambassador, I'll say yes. So sometimes there's not a lot of time left, but I think that by saying yes, you're going to meet a ton of people. You're going to learn things from others that you may not have ever learned before, and you're going to find new and more successful ways to do things. So I really try to get involved in as many things as I can.
Wow, that's amazing. Like amazing, like schedule management, right?
Yeah.
So what are bad recommendations you hear your profession over area of expertise?
So what are some of the suggestions that I give to somebody in the fitness industry?
No, what are the bad recommendations you hear from someone else?
Bad recommendations.
Yeah, fitness industry.
I think that we can get too focused on what works for us will work for them. So I do see a lot of personal trainers that maybe are fitness models or compete on stage, and that may not be the goal of your client, but they treat them the same way as if they need to go on stage, right? So it might be like measuring their food and training like they want to be a bikini model, but that may not be their goal. So I think it's really important that we sit down with our clients, our potential clients, and find out what they really want and what successful looks like for them. So instead of going from 0 to 100, maybe you're going 0 to 20, and then maybe they'll have another goal to progress down the road. But I think you see it all the time. A personal trainer takes a new course, and then the next day they're implementing what they learned, but it may not be the best fit for that client. So it's definitely important that you're still educating yourself, but you have to sift through that information and find out what's applicable to which client.
Yeah. So what are the 1 to 3 books that have gradually influenced your life?
Over the course of the last couple years, I've invested more in audiobooks because I was driving quite a bit. And then I read much more once I've been home now during COVID. But I'd say my top 2 favorite is Grit by Angela Duckworth. I love that book. And also You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. That's a great book. I think when it comes to what I've learned from like training, I learned a lot from Stu McGill and lower back health. So for me, I had a lot of back pain that I've been working through, but also we know a lot of clients that work through back health and work through back pain. So I learned a lot from that book and that course. I took that course as well. And then also Kelly Starrett and mobility. So he wrote the book Supple Leopard, and I took his mobility level 1 course and learned a lot about, band distraction and how to properly warm up before you train. So I'd say those 4 books are my top.
Nice, nice. So what are the top 1, 2, 3 things you learned past 2 years?
2 years. So COVID takes up a lot of time in those 2 years. Again, I have to go back to that morning routine. It's what has gotten me through the last 15 months. I think it would have been very, very difficult, and I wouldn't have been as effective and thought as clearly as I had been if I didn't take that time in the morning to work out and meditate before I started my day. So whenever we get back to normal, I want to carry that into my routine to make sure that I carve out that time. So if it means getting up at 5 a.m. so I can get a workout in, that's really important. But also, no matter what gets thrown at you, I would say you will find a way to get through it.
Yeah.
You will find a way to overcome it.
Yeah, I hear that.
So
it was very tough last year.
If we can handle this.
Pardon me?
Yeah. If we can handle this, we can handle anything.
Yeah, like last year, like like me, like I have my own business, right? Like, oh my God, like like it was very tough. But I learned a lot of good things from you and then my previous work, and then I went through it.
How are you doing now?
Amazing, like most amazing ever.
Awesome.
Yeah, super amazing, super cool. I actually increased the rate.
Amazing.
Increased
Yeah,
rate.
if you can sell, I say this to our personal trainers, if you can sell during a pandemic, if you can get your clients in when they're afraid and when you have to have them wear masks or they're uncomfortable, when things get back to normal, think how strong you will be, right? You will be that much stronger.
Yeah,
so, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
In that book, Grit, that I was talking about, they give a really cool example of this cartoonist from New York, and he had actually submitted like 950 cartoons to the New Yorker, and all of them had been denied. So over the course of 10, 15 years, they'd all been turned down. But because he loved drawing and he loved humor, he just kept doing it. And what happened was, over time, he actually became the most successful cartoonist in the New Yorker, and they hired him to become their associate director and the head editor of the magazine. So I think the people that actually stuck with fitness and didn't leave are going to go on to be so successful, because you're in it because you're passionate about it. You're in it because you love it, right? The minute things got hard, you didn't quit, even though for many people, they may have had to, they may have had to go to another job. So I think the people that stuck with it are really going to continue to flourish and be successful. And I know the fitness industry is going to boom when all of this is done.
Absolutely, because also this COVID was difficult, and then average gym closed. A lot of gym. If you're not amazing, if you are not so good, you don't have a client. So actually, a lot of gym closed down. So now America is open now. So this situation finished. Less gym, same client to come. It's busier and busier and busier for sure.
And I think even more clients are going to come because people have recognized how important health is, right? We know that those that were more sick with COVID typically were more obese or had unrelated health issues. So I think the spotlight has been put on how important it is to be healthy, to exercise. And I hope more Canadians and people in Ontario recognize that.
This is essential.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are the top 1, 2, 3 things you ask all of your client or team to do?
I'd say I don't have clients anymore. So I'd say my team, it would be schedule your workouts. So make sure you have time for you. Get in and roll up your sleeves, get involved in the people that you work with every day. So whether it be personal trainers, your clients, get in the clubs and get involved, and then be present. So there is a lot of things that are always swirling. There's always things to do. There's always places to be. But when you're having conversations with people, try to be as present as possible so you can find out what they need and how you can build a strong relationship with them.
It was you, like I was so busy at the my previous work life. I did so many sessions, right? And then, like I couldn't train well. And then who said that I need to schedule my training, my schedule book?
Mm-hmm.
That was you?
It could have been. I feel strongly about that.
That's one of the most wonderful thing I did. So, because, client ask, oh, this time we give time to client. But, I said, oh, this is my time. I actually book my training time. Yeah.
Yeah, we ask our clients to do that. So you're just as important, right? Or you're not going to be able to be effective in your sessions.
Yeah, I tell other, health and wellness professional, you are most important client. Like you are most important. Do you practice yoga too?
Absolutely. And that goes for, yeah, for sure. In my workout, if I were to show you my calendar right now, you'd see workout in the morning every day. It's scheduled in.
Nice. Like I've been practice yoga and meditation like on and off for like 10 years, but 2019, I went to yoga studio. I had a yoga teacher and I've been practice yoga and meditation regularly. That's one of the most amazing things I've been practice like past 2 years and learn like moving so well, a lot less pain. I'm right now I'm little bit lighter than before, lifting a lot lighter weight. But honestly, before I had a pain everywhere. You name it, except here, everywhere pain. Now, like I'm healthiest ever, like no pain because of yoga and meditation, part of it, and understanding.
Yeah, pain can be a stress response too, right? So if your stress is lower, you may not feel as much pain as you normally did. And a lot of times when you're stressed is usually when you get injured and then your injury causes pain. It's that cycle.
Yeah. So what is the one thing you know or do, but other health and wellness fitness professionals, they don't do, so you think they should do?
I don't know what all health and fitness professionals don't do, but I can definitely speak to what I do. I think I model myself after the best leaders that I've seen in the business and the people that have been most inspirational to me. And for what I've seen, how I've seen them be successful and what I aspire to be is that servant leader. So you find out what the people that report into you or the people that you work with or your team, what they need, and your job is to help them get it. So similar, and I think this started when I was a personal trainer. Our job as personal trainers is to help our clients be successful, right? Help our clients achieve their goals. So that hasn't changed for me. It just changes with the person that I work with. So when I became a manager, my clients became my personal trainers. So my job when I was your manager was to help you be successful as quickly as possible. And then when I became a regional manager, it was my club managers. So now as a vice president, I work with directors and regionals, and my job is to find out what they want, what they need, the development path they want to take, and for me to help them get there. So I would say the leaders that I look up to, that's what they do really well, and they listen.
Amazing. So what is your plan for next 6 months to 2 years?
Let's get our clubs open. Let's get our fitness studios open. So that's first. And then after that is rebuild everything that we lost. So regardless of how fantastic our fitness clubs were, many of us lost a lot of clients, lost some really great people. So my focus will be rebuilding, getting our personal trainers back in, hiring, also, rebuilding our clients. So steps that we've taken to gain more clients. We launched a personal training app, partnered with Trainer Eyes, which I'm really excited about. They're fantastic. And also a virtual group fitness platform for our members. So that'll be the big focus in the next year or two.
So what's the difference between your club and Good Life and LA and then other gym? What's the big difference?
Well, we are looked at as affordable luxury. So it is a high-end club. The amenities that are within that club are amazing. It's almost like our owner calls it a bouquet of boutiques. So under one roof, we have 6 or 7 different studios. So we have like a multi-purpose studio, hot yoga, Pilates, small group training or a HIIT studio. We have a cycle, a women's only, and then 2 pools. So you can pay for 1 membership at MOVATI and get everything. So we know that the average person typically has a membership at like 2 or 3 different boutiques, right? They might have an Orange Theory, they might have a Barry's Boot Camp, or maybe an Orange Theory and a Good Life. At MOVATI, you don't need all of that because it's all under one roof. So I would say that's the biggest difference. We have very, very high level instructors and personal trainers and deliver amazing programming, and you get it all with 1 membership. There's also a kids club, so your kid gets workouts in and gets to have some fun while you're there as well.
What is the biggest difference between your club and then other club trainers?
Again, I can't really speak to what other club trainers are, but I can see what I saw when I came to MOVATI. So what I saw when I came to MOVATI was very high level of retention of personal trainers. So the average personal trainer at MOVATI stays like 3 to 5 years, which is longer than what I saw where I was before. Typically they've worked in different like boutiques or different clubs, and they've come to MOVATI as kind of the last spot. They're like, you know what? I've worked other places. I hear great things about MOVATI. I want to come and work for you. We believe that if we treat our people really well first, things like, education fund, giving them a great place to train, a great environment, a lot of benefits and perks, and pay them well, that they in turn will give our members a great experience. So I'd say that would be the biggest difference.
Wow, amazing, amazing. So how people can find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. So if you're a personal trainer and interested in getting into the industry, definitely reach out via LinkedIn. We will be hiring in many of our locations across Ontario this month and into July as we prepare for September. We just hired 20 personal trainers for Edmonton opening. That's opening June 25th. So the great news is there's a lot of people in the industry that want to work in fitness still. So very exciting to open in Edmonton. So best way is through LinkedIn. And then you can also find me on Instagram and Facebook.
Wow, I will put your information this show note. So I know some good like a young like good fitness passion person, so they can apply your club trainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice, nice. So they can possible to meet you as well?
Yeah, I actually just had a call with, I do a lot of work with York University. I spoke to some of the students there, the kinesiology students that just graduated and some of their student athletes. So I just had a call with one a couple weeks ago to give him an idea of what MOVATI was all about and what he needed to do to get into the fitness industry. So absolutely send me a line, and I don't have any issue in having a call or talking about what it takes to start your career in fitness.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Which club they, vice president to talk to trainer? Wow, amazing. Good. So anything you want to say?
No, I want to thank you for your time, and it's so great to see your success, since 2006. I saw something special in you back then, and obviously it's continued to follow you. So congratulations on everything you've been able to achieve, and thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you so, so much of your time. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.